So there it is, the body mount. Cut a hole in the floor, a hole saw. You can see all this previous work that's been done in here. I don't really get why you put a rocker panel on here, leave all this kind of, I guess it was sound, but if you had a rocker panel, why didn't it just come all the way in here? I don't get it. So as you can see here, and as you saw in the photos, you saw how I started this process. You know, I could have spent hours and hours and hours forming this without welding it, I suppose, but you know, this is way faster, just as good. I'm going to grind these welds down a little bit, not so much on the inside, but on the outside. I'm not going to do that until I got it fitted in there. And I haven't welded along the top here on either side, because I might have to fold one of these sides down to get it slid in between the floor pan and the frame mount. So I'll sort that out, and then I'll weld up whatever side that isn't folded down, and then once I get it in there, I'll just smash the side and the piece back up and fold it back up into place, and it'll be all good. Okay, here's the body mount, body brace, floor brace, whatever you want to call it, all ready to install. See, I've kind of bent over this one side so I can slide it between the floor and the mount on the frame. Okay, there's the mount, all welded in. Looks pretty OEM. The welding was a bit of a disaster, but I managed to get in there with a grinder and put what's commonly referred to as a Makita cap, or whatever brand of power tools you prefer. Could be a DeWalt cap, could be a Milwaukee cap. But anyways, it turned out pretty decent. And just show you some of the other body braces mount. See, these just run right in. The guy just ran them right into the side. And here's one, the remains of a factory one, cut off on the bottom. And then this one on this side, got that hole cut in the face of it, but then it's all sealed up on the bottom, so any junk that goes in there, you can see there's junk in there, mud, it just collects in there. So I'm gonna have to open the bottom of that up so the junk can come out. This one's straight in. They were replaced, you can see the weld there. And there's another one straight in. So anyway, there's mine again. I like it. So now I have to make a piece to join up to the floor pan and go down to the bottom of that mount I just put in. So this socket fits in there nicely. Got a little bit of clearance on the sides. So take it over here. This piece of sheet metal here. Underneath this, nothing. And make a little mark on that. hold it on the edge. Roll it, roll it, roll it. It touches down again. I'm just going to do it one more time. It seemed like it slipped. Anyways, it's wiggling around. That's going to be close enough. Tin snips. Cut on the line. Now, tidy this up a bit. I like these offset snips. Easy to use. These are Blue Point. Snap-on sells these. This has been a really good pair of tin snips. I must have had, I've had these for probably 15 years. Once in a while I tighten up this bolt here, dress these a little bit, but they've lasted really well. Anyway, so now I'm going to take this and clamp it on to the socket. You can still see this. I'm just going to check. Kind of out of view there. Tighten this up a bit. Change the angle of the camera. You see where I'm going here? And then take this over to, I can find my hammer. It's right where it's supposed to be. There's some junk. You can even see that. This is a T-dolly, in case you don't know. There. Just tack that together now. go from there. This ended up being a little smaller than that original socket I was using, but it's okay. Anyways, what I've got here is a different socket. It's just on the extension, and I'm just going to tap this over on itself and form a bit of a bottom on this. Got to take your time, otherwise it'll fold up on itself. Canadian cross check. Starting to go in. And here we have it. So now, take it over to the car. And that fits down in that hole there, see? Put the camera down here. Put the camera down all right. I'm not going to put the camera down. So I got to make a mark Just go in here and scribe this to the floor. So I'll come back and show you that after. Okay, I made that mark on there, and then I just cut it within about 1/4 of an inch of the mark, bottom of the mark. So now I'm going to fold this out. And the way I'm going to do that is, give me a sec here, I need to get my camera holder. I don't know if you can hear that helicopter sound, but there's a hummingbird in here. I'm gonna have to chase it out of here eventually. They're too dumb to get out on their own. So little tins, I don't know, little vice grips. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make sure I'm in the frame and just take these vice grips and gradually bend this out. Once I got it bent out a bit, I'll take it over to that T-dolly again and maybe just stretch it a bit, because it is going to need to stretch. We go a little bit below the line actually, just because you always, when you do a scribe like that, it's always above, a little bit above the piece you're scribing to. Usually. It's a little hard on the hands. This metal's sharp. Be a little more effort required over the weld. There we go. Starting to look like a little hat. It's coming around nicely. So I think once I finish this round, I'm gonna do a little stretching on it. I think I can just do that on my favorite piece of angle iron here. Favorite piece of, yeah, I-beam. Gotta find the earmuffs for this. So if you're wearing headphones, probably want to turn the volume down a bit. It's going to get loud. Different hammer, round face hammer. to see how that fits in the car. There you go, look at that. Needs a bit more. I ended up welding a bottom on this just because I wanted to strengthen it up, and the hole coming through the the bottom there isn't exactly centered on the hole in the floor, so that sort of is going to act as a kind of a washer, like an offset washer. So I'm going to put this in there. It just dropped right in that time. It wasn't going in before. I'm going to tack that in, weld it all around, and then I'm going to drill a hole up through the bottom of it, and then it'll be ready to mount. There it is, all done. Got some zinc paint on it. I don't have a long enough bolt, so I'll have to go to town for one. And then I'll put a little seam sealer down in there and put the bolt and washer in. Make sure nothing comes through. And then that'll be done, and I'm moving on to the, well, I'm going to do the door next. I did quite a series of videos on the other door, so probably won't be seeing much of me for a while.